Hi, Alex here. Before we start this episode of the podcast, I would like to give a spoiler warning for the first three episodes of Obi-Wan Kenobi. We do read off some quote-unquote leaks and some theories that may or may not be true. We don't know yet, but tread with caution when you're listening to the podcast. Other than that, hope you guys enjoy. Hello, welcome back to the Sourcewell podcast. This is episode 4, I believe. All right, we're here with
Dragon
Gamer.
Ball Z.
Yeah, Dragon Ball Z. Oh, we're here with Gamer.
Yeah, hello peeps. Shitty Mike may or may not have gotten updated. Who knows?
And Rick.
I'm lonely.
We only have 3 members of the podcast today. It's going to be kind of a chill podcast. There's going to be some debates in this episode, I feel like. All right.
Keep it interesting.
Which one do you guys want to talk about? Because I know we were talking a little bit about the Obi-Wan show beforehand. Do you guys want to continue with that?
I guess let's just lead right in with that.
I'm basically the neutral party.
Yeah, because Gamer is kind of out of the loop with most modern media.
With Star Wars?
So I see a lot of unpopular opinions with the Obi-Wan show, and a lot of people seem to be like hating on it, specifically with Leia and Reva.
That's the biggest thing I've been seeing on all these. It's mostly just the videos on YouTube. People think that it was a bait and switch, where it's less about Obi-Wan and more about 10-year-old Leia and fucking Reva. That's the biggest thing that I've been seeing.
Like, I understand a lot of the criticisms, but a lot of criticisms people have and why they hate it is why I kind of like it. Like, a lot of the Inquisitors are.
I'm actually interested in hearing this because I have very mixed opinions on Obi-Wan. Like, don't get me wrong, Ewan McGregor fucking kills it as Obi-Wan.
Always kills it.
Hands down. I mean, all you just need to do is take a look at the infamous meme where he just jumps down and he goes, "Hello there," and that tells you everything, you know. But
you can tell the man loves playing his role.
Oh yeah, and I mean, I love the Obi-Wan. I'm loving him in the Obi-Wan show. I love Vader in the Obi-Wan show. Give Hayden Christensen a career, for the love of God. Like, the man should be protected at all costs, you know. But yeah,
with the criticisms I've been seeing is like, oh, Leia's annoying, or Reva is.
Well, she's a 10-year-old child.
Yeah, and Reva is also annoying, and it's like, dude, just calling these characters annoying is not helping their traits. A lot of the Inquisitors are either younglings that weren't killed and were captured, or Force-sensitive children that were just taken from their homes and trained with the dark side. And a lot of them, they were they were taught to use their negative emotions. So when you see the Inquisitors be calm and collected, that's not what an Inquisitor should be. Reva like fully encapsulates what an Inquisitor should be: rash and what's the word I was looking for? Rash and impulsive. But the reason they stay in line and the reason they're so calm and collected is because they're fear. It's not calm and collection; it's fear. Because if they step out of line even once, Vader shows no mercy.
Look what happened to the Inquisitor in Jedi Fallen Order. Because the minute
Trilla, right?
Yeah, Trilla. The minute that she heard Vader's breathing, like, if it was real life, you could almost
danger.
Exactly, yeah. That's the whole thing. Like, you could see the whites in her eyes.
Another great example is the Great Inquisitor. Like, when Caden beats somebody, there are far worser things than death.
Oh.
Vader. There's always Vader. Yeah. Or maybe he was referencing the Emperor too. You never know, because those are the two things that are worse than death.
And like a lot of the criticisms I see.
Well, there's always sand.
The one thing I did and agree
with. Irritating, and it gets everywhere.
I love it. Alright, when I was playing the Lego Star Wars game, do you remember this scene in The Rise of Skywalker where the Jedi are talking through Rey?
Oh yeah.
Lego
Skywalker, so I hated that scene though.
In the Lego Star Wars version from the Skywalker saga, it's that scene, but the last one, it's Obi-Wan going like use us, Rey. You are the Jedi kind of thing. And then it just cuts to Anakin going, I don't like sand. And Yoda goes, me too.
Of course.
And Mace Windu's voice goes, this is no time for this.
But
back on topic.
Damn it, Master Skywalker. We don't give a shit about how much you don't like sand.
Back on topic. What was it? Oh yeah, the one criticism I do agree with is that Reva shouldn't know that Anakin is Darth Vader.
I still think that's
Wait,
bullshit.
excuse me? Yeah, that's bullshit. No, like
Alright.
I don't even have to watch it, and I just hearing that is bullshit. She should not know that Anakin is Vader.
Yeah, anyone who knows that Anakin is Vader is Palpatine and Obi-Wan. Everyone else is dead.
Well, and the only
Yoda
other
as
person,
well.
Yeah, but Yoda's
right.
Yeah, Yoda.
Yoda's all the way off on Dagobah.
And if you do find out, and you're not someone like that's close to Vader, if you're not like Thrawn or Tarkin, you get killed.
Yep,
exactly. Because that was the biggest thing.
Like, I feel like that was just, I feel like that was like an oversight, just to get Obi-Wan some motivation for the story.
Well, yeah, that was the biggest thing, and I apologize for the interrupting,
no,
but
you're good.
You know, that was the biggest thing. Like, I remember watching the trailers, like, where Reva was like, you can't win, you can't escape him. Like, I figured it was the whole idea, like, he's running from Vader because she knows he's a fugitive. But just thinking of that line now and knowing that she knows that Anakin is Vader, it just infuriates me that much more because she now knows what he really is running from. And to me, that just, it doesn't make any sense then. It doesn't really make any sense now, and I don't think it's going to make sense when the season ends.
Yeah, I hate it when plot takes over story rather than character development. A main thing for me is not the plot, it's character stories. I enjoy character stories. So when we got the Obi-Wan show, I thought we were going to get, a story about Obi-Wan coming to terms with reusing the Force, which is a criticism I saw that, Obi-Wan's weak now. It's like, he's weak because he hasn't used the Force. Why would he use the same weapon that he used to kill his brother?
Yeah, but I'm gonna say one thing, like, sorry to interrupt you, Alex, but like the one thing that's sort of just like, I get where you're coming from, and that would be an interesting story, but the problem is with that is that Obi-Wan's supposed to train Luke. Teach him.
And this is
so why would Obi-Wan discard like that training? And then what? Like, doesn't the Obi-Wan series take place like a decade before New Hope?
5 years after Revenge of the Sith.
All right.
So
Alrighty.
That is time for Obi-Wan to catch up to Vader's level in terms of dueling.
Yeah, because the gap between Revenge of the Sith and New Hope is 18 or 19 years. I don't remember if it was specifically.
Yeah, because Luke's like a full-grown teenager in A New Hope.
Yeah,
so it could either that or it could be 16.
No, it's legal age.
No, like I'm pretty sure it's confirmed that like Luke is like 19, but so because of Tatooine's son, 2 sons.
I think it would be 19. Because Leia is Luke's twin, she would have to be of legal age if she's going to be dating Han Solo, who is already in his mid-20s in the Solo movie, which takes place a year before or during the Obi-Wan show, which is weird to think about because Leia's like 5 or 8 or something, or 10.
10 years old, yes, and then
the show's
age. My parents have a 21 age gap, so.
Sorry, my mistake. I said 5 years. It takes 10 years after because Leia's 10.
The whole thing with the podcast, I'm sure as you guys have figured out, is that we kind of just make this up as we go along. So if we're like,
it's more entertaining that way.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, definitely. And if we're out of loop, I hope we're not triggering anybody.
I do like that Obi-Wan is out of touch with the Force because he's trying to hide and save himself, kind of thing. Which I like.
Biggest thing.
I like it. I like the scenes where he's shown working and taking like a scrap for himself to eat, kind of thing. I love that. That's the kind of thing I want from a show about a Jedi trying to survive in a world that he's not used to.
Well, and you could also make the argument that he's trying to put his past behind him and try to become like the common man.
Yeah.
Yeah, but again, that's true, and I agree with that. It's just that the hard thing is, like, to me, I guess, is like someone who, again, as someone who hasn't been keeping up with modern Star Wars, it's just that I just get reminded of like what the mission was, like train Luke. And that's why I'm guessing I'm sort of having a hard time with like this new Obi-Wan. I'm not hating the take. It's just that I guess like with what I've known about Star Wars and what's been said, I just feel like it kind of contradicts. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I see where you're coming from.
Yeah, I can see it.
I thought of 5 years because Fallen Order takes place 5 years. And Cal also struggles to use the Force the first time again because he hasn't been
Mhm.
using it, but also he was a Padawan. So it's a
Right.
little
That makes
different to
sense.
Obi-Wan, but Obi-Wan takes place 10 years after. So I guess it makes
Mhm.
a little more sense of why he's a little more out of touch because he hasn't used it in 10 years, while Cal's only been out it for 5, and Cal fully
Yeah.
embraces it. But I'm
I don't know.
if I saw a theory that because I heard that there will be 2 encounters of Obi-Wan fighting Vader in the show. We've already seen one of them, and he loses.
Oh,
And
he got spanked.
yeah, but the second one is supposedly supposed to be Obi-Wan and someone else fighting Vader, and
What?
I really hope that's not Riva, because
Better not be Reva.
I feel like they're gonna go down that path of trying to give Riva a redemption arc and
And
Bullshit.
then the
pair
Grand
them together.
Inquisitor comes out of nowhere and kills Riva.
No, I feel like
Either that or
Vader's
it's gonna. Uh-huh.
yeah, I feel like Vader's gonna end up killing Riva, but I it's just stupid to think that Riva's gonna
It should
go.
be a one-on-one with Obi-Wan and Vader again, in
Because
my
here's the
opinion.
thing, though, because that was what was listed off in the spoilers that got leaked out before the first 2 episodes launched. Was that apparently like Riva's gonna this was in the spoilers. This could be completely wrong when the episodes, keep coming out. But apparently in the spoilers, it was listed that Riva has a chance to kill Luke, but then has a change of heart. So then she goes to Vader and she lies that, she couldn't find him or that Kenobi's dead. And this pisses off Vader. And he's like, no, I know he's alive or whatever the hell. But either that or he's like, he doesn't tell him about Luke. But either way, like, Vader kills her. And then people are saying that this is bullshit because by proxy, if this happens, this makes Obi-Wan look like a chump in the fact that he technically did protect Luke. Riva did by lying to Vader.
Yeah.
It's this whole conundrum of
Again, it just goes against, like as I said before, Obi-Wan's mission. Protect
yeah,
and train
exactly.
Luke. And to me, it's like, if you're going to be out of the touch with the Force, like, at least have the times where you're going to train with it so you can teach the boy and protect the boy.
Well, I
Because if
mean,
Obi-Wan's just not been in touch with the Force, how is he going to protect Luke from, like, savages or whatever? If, like, other Inquisitors come knocking.
well, I
Like he
Maul
trained
mean,
his
is an
father.
example. Yeah.
well, I
Uh,
mean, like, people have trained Jedi without using the Force before, I think. I know Yoda
they've
barely
done
uses the Force, when he trains Luke. What was it?
they've done that before.
What's
They've done that
the
before.
what's the chick in the Fallen Order who trains Cal again?
Oh God.
Who's Trilla's master? Is it Siri or I forgot?
I don't know. I don't know what her name is, but there's another example of this I can think of that was done in the Legends canon, like all the canon that was technically canon before Disney bought it and threw it away. I think they did something similar to that with. If you guys aren't familiar with the EU, please tell me. But they did it with a former Sith Lord named Darth Treya. She was stripped of her Force powers by what the fuck was that guy's name? I know one
Vitiate?
of them was. Yeah, it may have been Vishy. I don't know, but it was the one Sith Lord who just could not die, and then the other one
Oh,
was
because
Darth
he's
Oh, the
just
Nihilus.
one with,
so
like, bumps
angry
all
that he just
over him?
doesn't die.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah,
I know who you're referring to. I just don't know his name.
Darth. It might have been Darth Sion, right?
Maybe
I
I'd
mean,
have
just
It
to.
may have been
imagine
Darth.
Palpatine, but 10 times worse in the ugly department.
Oh yeah. Oh my God. Yeah. But yeah, it was Sion, Nihilus, and then Darth Treya. They were like a Sith triumvirate, and then Nihilus and Sion rebelled,
Yeah,
stripping
Scion.
Treya of her force. Yep. Then they stripped Treya of her force powers, and then obviously she had every right to be pissed off, and then she ended up training, I think, Mitra
Revan.
Surik in how to use
Uh,
the force. Not because Revan was.
well,
I mean, Revan was around during this time, but I don't exactly recall what he was doing.
Oh, so this was Knights of the Old
yeah.
Republic era then.
Yeah, this was definitely Knights of the Old Republic.
Yeah. Then I feel like another thing, again, is just like, I mean, it's possible Obi-Wan still could have trained him without using the Force, and that's a good. I think that's a good thing to have, like, be able to teach, without the knowledge, I guess.
He still has the
But
knowledge. He just, you know, can't use the Force if he stayed in this course of action.
it's
I don't
just, I
know.
guess, kind of weird. I guess.
Yeah,
I guess I
And
can't
there's
put it.
just
It's weird, but I'm
Ugh.
enjoying it. I enjoy the struggle.
It's definitely better than the Book of Boba Fett. That's what I'm seeing.
Like a panther.
Memes.
Um,
If there's anything we can get from Disney Star Wars, it's going to be the memes. I mean, I don't know if they're going to top prequel memes, but there's definitely plenty of memes coming from the sequels and whatever garbage that Disney's
Literally,
fostering out to the
just
fans.
imagine, like, put yourself like in like what Poe says, like somehow Palpatine has returned. Like, just imagine the absurdity of that line IRL. When
somehow.
someone walks up to you, when someone walks up to you and says, "Somehow Hitler has returned with his army."
Everybody would just drop their shit and run.
No, some people would be like, "Hey, it's time to finish what our ancestors couldn't."
Yeah.
Oh god. But
Oh man.
I another criticism I saw was, Leia's character, the 10-year-old. And people are like
Why are
bullying Leia because she's annoying and like acts more like an adult, but like an annoying teenager. It's like, do you guys
she's just
remember?
a kid?
Yeah, but like this was before our time. This is when the prequels were coming out. This was Phantom
Oh,
Menace.
I know where you're going with
And
this. You're
remember
going to
how
talk about Jake
people,
Lloyd.
yeah, people bullied the
Oh,
shit out of Jake Lloyd for his
oh my
performance in
God, that
Phantom
poor
Menace.
kid.
Yeah, and
I
we're
feel
doing
bad
the
for
Oh,
him.
same exact thing with the actress who's portraying Leia right now.
it's like it's like fucking Groundhog Day with this dude. It's awful. I
Yep.
hate it. And like I said, I mean, like I actually rewatched The Phantom Menace not too long ago, and yeah, the kid's performance wasn't there, but it's the same. I'm gonna say it with Jake Lloyd, and I'm gonna say it with the girl who's playing Leia. They're just kids. They don't know what's up and what's down. They don't know how to like enunciate. They don't know how to be proper actors. What you think
It's
this freaking
hard
kid?
to find a good child actor,
Yeah.
and even when it's a good one,
Exactly.
they don't last long.
Well, I mean, that's the thing. Do you seriously expect this girl to be, the next Carrie Fisher, especially at her age? No, your expectations shouldn't be that high. They're just kids. I'm probably going to keep saying that throughout the entirety of this episode. Leave them alone. You know what I mean? Like, dude.
Let the kid be a kid.
Yeah,
Um,
exactly. Ugh.
s- so I don't consider, the sequel movies with Rey and stuff. I don't want to consider those canon.
I
So
don't.
I'm gonna,
I don't consider them canon as well. Like, my
yeah,
personal headcanon is that anything after Return of the Jedi
unless
is
it's
like a what if.
Mandalorian or Boba Fett, those are what I consider the sequels to the original trilogy.
Yeah, me
Yeah,
too.
except Boba Fett just like
I know Boba
it's
Fett
called the
fell
Book of Boba
short.
Fett, but it's actually
It did.
Mandalorian season 2.5.
Yeah, I
Oh,
understand the
yeah.
criticisms of that.
Like, I haven't even seen Boba Fett, but I know it's hot garbage.
The way they
hmm
treated Cad Bane, I see the criticisms
That was
for it,
annoying.
They did Cad dirty.
I consider it better than anything the sequels have put out.
Well, I mean, hey, the Bad Batch has done plenty
Oh,
for
Bad
Star
Batch! I
Wars.
actually finished Bad Batch a few days ago. Holy
What'd you
shit!
think?
I was
they're
not. It was really fun. Like, I really liked Bad Batch.
I
they're
Like, I
bringing
love
know
back
it's
Bad
not
Batch.
like it's not. I know it can get really repetitive, but I actually had a really good time. Crosshairs being probably one of my favorite characters.
Love Crosshair. He's my favorite of the whole batch.
I like Omega. Like, honestly, Omega was really annoying to me at first,
Hmm.
but it's just like I like Omega, but there needs to be consequences for her actions,
Oh yeah.
like
what?
real consequences.
So they released on what was it Star Wars Day or Star Wars
Yeah,
Celebration the trailer for Bad Batch 2, and Gunji comes back. You know
I saw.
The little Wookiee
The
Jedi.
Wookiee,
Yeah, the Wookiee
Yep.
oh
Jedi. He's
boy,
coming back. Anakin didn't
I
hmm
thought
slaughter him.
Anakin slaughtered him.
Well, apparently not all of them.
oh
That's gonna be fun to see. Um,
yeah.
what was I gonna say? Another. All right, which era of the Star Wars timeline would you guys want to be in?
Are we looking at like any version of Star Wars? Can this also include like the legend stuff
Yes, yes,
that Disney wants to tell you is no longer canon, but in my head it is canon?
yes.
Oh fuck. um,
You also have to think about like the timeline, because if you're gonna live on like Alderaan during the Clone Wars, it'd be fine. But if you're gonna live on Alderaan during A New Hope, you're kind of screwed.
you're
Unless
gonna blow up.
the time to leave.
Just get the hell off that planet before
When did we get a
before
second moon? We did it. We're
yeah.
getting
Hey
out of here.
Jim, there's a new moon in the sky. Sorry guys, gotta pack my bags.
Yep. I just love that. I don't know if you guys have seen the memes, but my dad found it the other day where they shoot the Death Star at Alderaan. It's a girl. Let's go.
Yeah, Darth Vader's gender reveal.
I
I wouldn't.
love that one.
I
I
wouldn't
don't know why.
mind living during the Knights of the Old Republic.
I'm with you there.
Honestly, I could
Oh.
probably Clone Wars Imperial era, probably somewhere I'd be.
Being a Jedi in Geonosian, or fuck, what was it? How do I pronounce it?
Geonosis.
Geonosis, yes, during the rise of the Clone Army, fighting for your life.
Yeah.
Wait, like if we're in the timeline, do we know the events? Like
No.
we know what's coming. Oh.
So then we're kind of screwed then if we were Jedi on the mission to Geonosis.
The Sith during the last moments of what was it, before the Rule of Two?
Yeah. Well, that was like right around because technically Revan invented the rule of two.
No, it was like
it was Bane, wasn't it?
Bane, I was about to say.
Well, Revan had the idea, and then Darth Bane kind of brought it to life per se, because I think he got the idea from one of Revan's holocrons.
I think so, because I know there was a Clone Wars episode where Yoda goes on a journey
And says hi to Cad Bane.
Says hi to
It's
Darth
voiced by
Bane.
Mark Hamill.
So Rick and
Go ahead.
Gamer, and I'll do the same thing. Assign us Jedi or Sith.
Oh, Alex, I think I'm gonna call you a Sith, just because I know you and you like power. But but that's one of those things. I don't think you would be like a Sith in like a Palpatine sense. You'd use your power, but you'd have it for justice, kind of thing. So it'd be very much.
I think the one
like a
Sith
Darth
Lord
Revan,
who
right?
never used his power. No, not like Revan. There's another Sith Lord who just used his Sith abilities just to study it. He never let the dark side corrupt him. I forgot what his name was, but he's actually a pretty
the
chill Sith Lord.
tragedy of Darth Plagueis the Wise.
Let me go see if I can find him.
I don't. I was gonna say I don't think it was Plagueis, because Plagueis in a way was like trying to use dark side alchemy to become immortal and influence the midichlorians.
Mm-hmm.
Darth. I cannot pronounce his name, but I will put him in the chat.
You put it in the chat, yeah.
Darth Vectivus.
Vectivus?
Do you know who he is?
No,
I've
but
heard
now
the
I'm
name.
going to watch the video.
Okay, so basically, in a nutshell, he one being on. I can't remember all of it. You know what? I just watched the fucking video. I've not watched.
We will.
I've not read like the comic or the book where he came from in like such a fucking long time.
But yeah, I mean, if I were, I don't think I would want to be a Jedi. I mean, there's so many rules to follow. The Sith, you're able to actually be free.
Right. Yeah. Through strength, you gain power.
Yeah, it was.
And stuff like that.
I think to broaden the spectrum a little bit between Jedi and Sith. I think I'd be a gray Jedi or a Sith.
I was gonna go with that. Yeah, definitely a gray Jedi.
Or you'd be like a dark Jedi.
A dark. I wouldn't be like an Ahsoka type character, but I don't know. What was Starkiller? Starkiller
was everywhere.
Starkiller was I would lean more towards the element that Starkiller was more of a dark Jedi, because he still used his dark side powers, when he went to the light side and he turned against Vader.
Yeah, here's the most thing is that he lived in the dark side, but he gave it up.
Have you guys seen the trailer for Jedi Survivor yet? The Fallen Order sequel?
No.
I think I have, yeah.
There is a Sith Lord, or just a Sith with a red lightsaber, who's kind of awkward in his movements, and only in his first scene where he's fighting Cal, he's only defending. But as soon as he attacks, he strikes Cal down in 2 strikes. Which is that's pretty fucking impressive.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know. People are speculating that it's probably a version of Starkiller.
People also think it's Revan, possibly.
Yeah, but Revan
I don't.
was Knights of the Old Republic era.
Dead. Has been dead for
Right,
like
yeah.
over like thousands of years.
And there was a
Unless
deleted
it's
scene
like,
from the Clone Wars where Revan's voice is
Actually,
supposedly
guys,
heard.
it's smoke.
But I saw a lot of memes of the person in a Bacta tank with white hair. People are saying it's Sephiroth, it's Sephiroth.
oh god. Yeah, I
This is
actually
what
had
he
to
did
just look
after
this
Smash
stuff.
Brothers.
But yeah, I'm pretty.
He
I
couldn't
want
mess
to
with
say
Cloud
it's
anymore, so he had to improvise.
it's not like I don't think it's an Inquisitor because the lightsaber hilt is different, and he looks
Yeah.
awkward holding just one blade. So I'm
Mhm.
thinking maybe it's a version of Starkiller, maybe not the Starkiller we know, but just
Oh,
a
you're
little
saying like
different
a
one.
clone.
Like
No,
a variant of
not a
Starkiller.
clone, not a clone, because in this regard, Starkiller never exists in canon because he's
Right.
Legends material. So if
He
this
exists
was
to me
a
in my head canon and legend.
So if this
I'm with you there,
is a
dude.
canon Starkiller, maybe he is an apprentice to Vader as like an assassin, like Savage Opress was.
Yeah, because Savage was more of a Sith assassin in the same vein that Starkiller was a Sith assassin.
Yeah, and
Obviously, before
Asajj
Vader
Ventress and
betrayed him.
stuff. Yeah, like
Mhm.
they had their red lightsabers. Well, they had their red lightsabers and they were able to use the Force, but they weren't considered full-fledged Sith.
Right.
But
Yeah.
maybe this
Or even
is
like
where this Starkiller is going, is where he's a Sith assassin.
Yeah. Just exactly how he was when he started, like at the beginning of the Force Unleashed.
Yeah, so
But I feel
maybe
like
that's
I
where it's
just have this
going.
feeling it's gonna be like from what y'all are telling me. I just feel like it's gonna be like a new character entirely. I don't like.
I'd be
There's a good
surprised if
possibility.
it wasn't.
But he's powerful, dude. Like, this is 5 years after Fallen Order, which makes it 10 years into the timeline. This is possibly happening concurrently with Solo and Obi-Wan. So,
And again, like you said, he's essentially like
So then Vader
one-shotting
would be.
Cal. So.
Yeah.
he just strikes Cal down in 2 or 3 strokes as soon as he attacks. Like, he doesn't stand a chance. Like, Vader did the same thing in Fallen Order with a
No,
less
you can't even
strong Cal.
fight Vader in Fallen Order.
Dude, when I got to that part in Fallen Order, I was like, "Where's his health bar?" Uh-oh.
Yeah. Right.
There is no
It's like,
health
"Oh yeah,
bar.
we're fighting Vader.
Run.
Where's his
And
health bar?"
I love that about Vader is that not any you just can't beat him.
He
You have
basically
to run.
Yeah, so he basically bitch slaps Seer with using the Force. He just flicks his wrist and she's gone. Oh yeah, that was what I was getting to earlier, is that apparently there's gonna be someone helping Obi-Wan fight Vader in the second fight, and that's when he'll win.
We,
I'm
we
hoping
were
it's
getting
Cal.
into that. Yeah.
I'm hoping it's Cal.
Yeah. It better
Could
not be
be.
fucking Reva, because if it is, I'm gonna be pissed.
Yeah, me too. But I really hope Cameron
Hey,
Monaghan just
we
comes
can
out
just
and
go back
said,
to headcanon, boys. Always remember headcanon.
maybe
Yep.
it's Starkiller. All right, so we're gonna switch over to universes and go into comic stuff now. Do you think multiverses are a cop out in storytelling?
They're starting to be. It
They're
just depends
starting,
on how they.
I'll agree with that because it's because like they're good. They're really good ideas. It's just that it's being oversaturated. That's the problem.
Right.
If you go
Well, and
on
yeah, go on.
if you go on any Wikipedia for either DC or Marvel and you go through any character that you know and love, look how many versions of that character there are within the multiverse, and look how many of them survive.
Mhm.
About
Not
90,
many.
yeah, not about 90% of them are dead. Like multiverses, I feel like are just used to kill off characters you love or tell a different story within that character dying. Like it's just I don't know. I wish multiverses were used in a good storytelling manner. Doctor Strange
Mhm.
kind of had it, but as I rewatched the film, it's just used to kill off these characters that are cameos.
Like they, I mean,
All I
the
heard is
biggest
that Black
example
Bolt
is
died like a bitch.
No, I'm not saying it.
Black Bolt got his mouth removed and he tried screaming.
He died
I
like a
mean,
bitch.
and
You're
Captain
talking about the
Carter
guy
got
that went toe to toe with Thanos, and now he just got
and
bitch
he got
slapped.
butchered by a woman.
Okay,
But then
well,
again, it's pissed off Scarlet. As you say, I thought you may have thought where I was going with that, but I'm like, no. And in context, I could sort of forgive it because it's a pissed off Scarlet Witch. You know, especially with the way that they've been doing her arc in the MCU for the last couple of months.
his
I can sort of understand it.
his death isn't entirely his fault. It's fucking Mr. Fantastic's fault for giving away his power. Wanda,
Yeah.
Black Bolt could destroy you with one whisper from his mouth. What mouth?
Poor Captain Carter, she got bisected by her own shield.
Yeah, but I feel like I don't know. I just feel like multiverses are kind of a cop out, especially in TV shows, where when you kill off a beloved character and all of a sudden this new character comes in and they have a different personality to them, but people still treat them like they're that character.
New 52 Superman.
Yeah, New 52 Superman.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they killed the new Superman, then just replaced him with the old one. Everyone forgot about the old one. Well, technically, how it goes is that like this Superman survived the multiverse, and he ended up in the New 52. Just watches the old Superman get put in, die, and then he's just like, "Hey, I'm taking over now."
All right.
I'm not wrong.
Yeah.
Speaking of multiverses and in canon stuff, what did your guys' favorite bat suit? It could be from any material.
I'm going on a limb, and anybody who has seen the first episode is probably already they won't be surprised at it. I might have to go with Pattinson's batsuit. I don't know, man. There's just something about like the heavy duty armored look that I've always liked, and I guess that's sort of what I've grown up with Batman material, like playing the Arkham franchise and whatnot. And granted, the Arkham suits started out as like the base, like
Fabric
the
kind of
fabric,
texture. Yeah.
right? Yeah, and then with Arkham Origins, that was the more heavier duty armor that I kind of grew to like, and that I grew up with. Because I mean, I remember playing Batman Arkham Origins at Christmas time, and it was super fun. So I guess that, in a way, kind of goes hand in hand with my love of
Armored
of the
aesthetic.
Pattinson bat suit. So
I don't
yeah,
really
exactly.
enjoy the armored aesthetic to bat suits. I enjoy more of the
Leather.
well, yeah, the leatherish kind of like fabric texture to it because I feel like it complements Batman's power of him being able to just go out there looking like a fucking kid on Halloween and fighting crime. I
mean,
think it just complements his
I know
skills.
there's like one ending in the Telltale games, like where if you don't like get to save the technology from like you get like a port, you just get a bat suit that just basically has the minimals, like no real armor, no real tech.
What is your favorite bat suit, gamer?
I guess that's a hard one, honestly, because like I've never really paid attention. I'm just like, hey, it's Batman. Hey, it's Batman, guys. Look, but I guess if I had this, like honestly, for like probably one of my favorite bat suits is like because I grew up with the show. Probably DCAU's like Justice League or like the Batman 2004 bat suits are probably some of my favorite.
The Batman 2000. Are you talking about Batman 2004?
Yes.
It seems
I know
legit.
that's a
Yeah,
really I know that's a really unpopular opinion,
I know
but
I enjoyed
that
that
was
show.
that's the Batman I grew up with.
we're talking about the Batman, right? Like
Yeah.
the
The
kids
show is
show,
it called
or
the Batman?
isn't that the one where
Or the
The
I thought,
Joker's
Joker's.
cracked.
Yeah.
Yeah, that
isn't that the
Joker
one
was
like where
my
he has
Joker,
like
but yeah, even it's a wacky Joker.
that's the one where he had like the dread, like the crazy long hair, right?
Yeah, the
Yeah,
He
voiced
dread.
by
and he was
Kevin
like a
Michael
monkey.
Richardson. Yep.
Yep,
I
that's the
love
one I
that
was
he
thinking
just
of.
did a different take instead of trying to just mimic a Mark Hamill.
Or
Yeah.
or be like Jack Nicholson.
My favorite Batsuit is kind of a weird pick. It's Batman 0 Year, where he has like the purple gloves. I don't know why
For a minute,
I just love that style because it shows the more fabric looking texture to the suit, but also has more of that combat style with the boots and the gloves. It's just practical and I like it. Um, favorite Spider-Man suit.
don't
I mean, I have a feeling everybody's gonna say it's the webbed suit from the
no, it's
Raimiverse.
Tobey Maguire's suit.
That's what I was gonna say. Yeah. But I mean, for me personally, and what I like, I might actually go with Spider-Man Noir. Might be
Ah,
a
That's a
weird
good
one.
one. Honestly, he's probably top 10 for me.
Yeah, and I think the reason why I like Noir so much is just, again, which I probably have said before, like in the first episode of the podcast, that he's like a much darker and a much sort of grittier take on Spider-Man before, Nicolas Cage turned him into a clown. But well, actually, fuck. Now I might have to think about it because I'm thinking about all the various like Spider-Man suits I've seen in the media and
a
even in the
hardcore
games.
origin story, buddy.
Oh man, I might have.
As a kid, I always loved the 2099 suit. The inverse blue and red. Ooh.
That suit is
It's good.
gorgeous.
That was one of my favorite suits.
Mm-hmm.
Outside of, but as I grew up, I still like the 2099 suit. Still one of my favorites, top 5 at least. But as I got
Yeah.
older and I started rewatching a lot of the older cartoons, I'm starting to like the Spectacular Spider-Man suit.
No, it's
Nothing
good.
wrong-
It's really well done. I
wrong
mean,
with
it's
that, yeah.
simplistic, but it does the job.
I think it does the whole eye moving thing before modern media did it.
And essentially made it famous per se,
Because the eye lenses move in that show.
I was blanking out. Sorry about that.
I get
Sure. Favorite Spider-Man. Like I said, I mentioned The Last Stand before.
Oh,
My,
I forgot about The Last Stand. Oh, I
Mhm.
love that suit.
Then maybe I might say Last Stand then, just because it was very it seemed very legit for what Spider-Man would wear as a hunted criminal. Like the leather jacket and the darkened spider symbol and whatnot. So maybe I might say Last Stand.
I
You want
remember.
it's like I know like an alternate history or like Ben Ben got bit by the spider and he wore something similar to that I think in like Spider-Verse comic. I can't remember.
Yeah, I remember
Last
that.
Stand suit is like
Mhm.
let me just look it up just to fog my memory out of it.
But I remember Gamer was talking about the Spider-Man running game, in the first episode of the podcast. Oh
I
man,
remember that, yeah.
the Last Stand suit was the suit I always wore in that game. Forgot
Yeah,
about
that
that
was a
suit
good one.
existed. That was
Oh
a
no,
really good one.
this is such a good Spider-Man suit. Last Stand. I'm looking at it. I really like it. No, I remember it now. That's it. This is honestly something probably the closest. Like, if you were not to like go out and make your own suit, would be closest to like what you would make as a Spider-Man suit, homemade.
Right. Just to kind of just like jimmy rig a bunch of stuff together, so that makes sense.
It's practical, the leather jacket and the jeans.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what I would do if I
I mean,
was a
I'm used to wearing
vigilante.
jeans, so it's perfect for me.
The first time I
Heck
heard
yeah.
when you said Last Stand, the first thought I thought of was X-Men.
The song. I thought,
Oh, and the weirdness of that movie.
no,
I
I
don't know.
thought,
I
I
feel
thought
like
for the
I'm.
moment when you said it at first, I thought like the Sapo, like the Last Stand, like about the Swiss Guard, but it's supposed to be
Oh
like
no.
associated with the Crusaders for the grace of the fight.
Uh,
No, we're gonna get copyright strike.
oh
I'm
man.
talking about the shitty X-Men movie.
Yeah, before Elliot. Wait, what the hell was her name?
Yeah,
Is it
Elliot
Ellen?
Page, and it was Ellen Page before. Yeah.
I had a feeling it was Ellen Page before Ellen became Elliot.
Favorite Superman suit. I want to go first with this one. I'm gonna get a lot of flack
Okay.
for it, but I enjoy the new 52 design.
Nothing
He
wrong
doesn't
with.
have his underwear though.
I don't care. Other than
I
that,
can.
I'm gonna have to go with Brandon Routh's Kingdom Come suit from the Crisis on Infinite or CW
No,
show.
Kingdom Come is really good as
Oh, yeah.
well. Honestly, with me, probably I know this is really weird, but I really like his 1940s suit, like the Max Fleischer cartoon. I really love that suit for some reason.
Oh, the one was like, oh yeah, with the it wasn't
Like the
necessarily
first time he was on
crest of
screen.
L, but it was like the
Right.
police like was the police kind of like emblem thing with the S in the middle.
Yeah,
I
just
sort of
the
see
S.
that. Yeah.
Yeah. To me, that's just like, or maybe the suit that comes in like when Super fights the Klan. Superman fights the Klan. Has anyone read that comic?
The Ku
I have
Klux
not.
Klan?
Yeah,
I was gonna
he
say.
fights the fucking Klan. I know that's a really weird, but that has a good suit in it.
What
Superman
the
beats
fuck?
No,
it.
that's really
Superman beats
weird.
the shit out of the KKK. Why have I not heard this?
I've heard it
Dude,
before, but
you need okay. I'm getting
awesome.
you the comic now. You are going. Who doesn't love Superman beating up the KKK?
I do. That sounds awesome, dude.
Truth, justice, in the American way.
Oh yeah.
Truth, justice, in the
That's
Here's the
Southern
thing: it
way.
started off as a radio drama.
that's how you get.
That's
That's
the
how you get rid of
funniest thing.
racists. You beat them senseless.
Yep.
I found
For me,
yeah.
for my favorite Superman suit, I can't really think of one, just because I'm not all that into Superman. Nothing against you
I've been
guys,
getting
but if I
into it
did have
more
to,
and more. Alex can
eh,
attest
eh,
to that.
yeah, if I did have to pick one though, I'd probably have to go with the Regime Superman suit.
Ew.
I mean,
I'm
that's
sorry,
I know
but
that's
ew.
it's a bit of an ugly take, but I mean, I guess for me, when I was in middle school or just Yeah, something like that. Like when I was in middle school, I don't know why. I just always really liked how dark the suit looked and how like kind of metallic looking
Are you talking
it
about
was.
the Prime Universe Superman? Or are you talking about Space Hitler?
Space Hitler.
Oh God.
But I guess you could say the
Space
Prime
Hitler, that's
Universe
just
one too.
Megatron.
Then
Fair. Hugo Weaving. I mean, Hugo Weaving did play Red
Yeah.
Skull, so it fits.
Mhm.
But yeah, what was your favorite comic book death? It could be in a TV show, movie, or in a comic book itself.
Oh fuck.
Yeah, same.
Oh, fuck.
I mean, that's the thing. What kind of death are we talking here? Like a character that we wanted to see die, or a death that just kind of hit home for us?
A death that kind of
You
broke
know.
you.
I don't think I've ever read a comic that's broken me.
There's only one that the one that I can think of right now, and like the first one that like really made me sad was the death of Harry Osborn in Spider-Man 3.
Okay.
Yeah, and there was just something about it. Like it didn't. It used to not make me sad, but lately, like there was like one. This was like 1 or 2 years ago. Actually, during the COVID lockdown, we dug up Spider-Man 3, and I watched it with my dad. And obviously, like when Harry died, and it was like that whole really sad bit where Toby starts ugly crying. But there's the
I love the scene of James Franco in the cafe where it's like, strawberries.
Yeah, but he's bragging about making out with MJ. But there was that bit like where Harry's looking at where Peter's apologizing for all the nasty things he said to him while under the influence of the black suit, and Harry's like, "None of that matters, Pete. You're my friend." For whatever reason, that line always makes me cry. I don't know what it is about it, but there's just something about it that's just really sad for me. I don't know.
I'm pretty heartless when it comes to like the only I'm pretty heartless. Like I don't cry for shit. Like the only like times I've ever cried on watching a movie was when I was 5 when I watched Old Yeller for the first time and when I watched The Green Mile.
I laughed at the Old Yellow's death. I got kicked out of
Shut
the
the
class.
fuck up, Alex. I'll kick your ass.
I was asked to leave the class by the teacher after I laughed after the gunshot rang.
I made a bad.
You're a morbid child.
Yeah.
You were a morbid child.
I mean, nobody was really shedding tears in high school when Romeo and Juliet died, like in the fucking DiCaprio version. But of course, I'm the idiot.
One?
Yeah, the one where they had guns and whatnot.
Oh, I had to watch the old version.
No, we watched them both. And Alex knows because I complain to him about it every day.
Yep, we're not.
We also watched Othello. We had to watch the old version.
We watched them both. Like I said, we watched the old one that came out in like the 60s or the 70s or whatever, and then we watched the new one with again Leonardo DiCaprio, where it was like a more of a modernized take, where it's like a gang war.
It still has the old like
the old dialogue
script, yes, but it's just like kind of modernized.
Right. And of course, I'm the idiot that made a joke after Juliet went bye-bye, and I'm like, oh yeah, that's got to be a headache. Nope. People laughed. My teacher wasn't laughing.
I would have burst out laughing.
Oh yeah.
Oh man, what was I gonna say? Oh yeah, one of my favorite comic book deaths. I mean, it's one of my favorites, but it's not like top tier. I don't remember what my top one is because I really have to think about that one. But I know one of my favorites is Billy Batson's death in Injustice. I have problems with it.
It's Superman's never turning back.
I have problems with it, but I mean, it really shows the character of what Superman is becoming and how I feel like Billy Batson should have just stayed on Batman's side, but whatever.
Yeah.
He's a child. He's gonna get manipulated.
Yep.
That was what I was gonna say though. Didn't it say like in his regime bio in Injustice that he got bullied into serving the regime?
Well, I mean,
that also inspires Flash to finally quit.
Mm-hmm.
It's the last straw.
I mean, comics kind of contradict Billy's reasoning, but whatever. Another one. I was
Dick
never
Grayson dies to a rock.
Yeah. When we talk about Injustice, I will rant about that.
I am excited for when we film that.
Dies to a fucking rock.
I guess my one of my other deaths that kind of struck a chord in me was the again, this might sound like a cop out, but Tony's death in the MCU.
And I
No,
never,
I that one almost that I could have cried at that, but I decided not to.
I was never really attached to the Marvel characters as I was DC characters, so that just didn't really ring for me.
I have very, very vivid
Iron Man
memories.
was my
Yeah.
first superhero that I felt like I loved.
Mhm.
Like, he's not my favorite anymore. Spider-Man takes that spot now, but he's still top 5. Iron Man.
Yeah.
Now I remember my favorite
Mhm.
comic book death.
Mhm.
Gwen's death, but specifically from Amazing Spider-Man 2.
Oh yeah, that one was.
Oh, Andrew just
that one
kills
was
it.
rough.
Oh yeah,
Andrew
Yeah.
kills it.
Andrew's performances is what makes that death top tier for me.
Oh my god, yeah, and I say it was rough because Andrew like completely sold that scene. Again, further
Also,
proof that
realize
Andrew
that he was
Garfield does not get enough
dating.
love.
Like,
Yeah,
weren't they dating at the time?
Yeah.
they were.
So that makes his reaction even more genuine.
That kind of like further enhances the illusion when you think about it.
Yeah.
Again, further proof that Andrew Garfield did not get the love he deserved for his role as Spider-Man.
It was just the script that I think kind of fucked with it.
Gwen would have wanted you to move on. Nah, Gwen would have wanted to go to college.
I shouldn't have laughed. Oh man, though. But
I got into Oxford. Cool.
Hey, at least we can say though that Andrew is now getting the love he deserves for his time as Spider-Man, thanks to No Way Home.
Why is that like a common trend? It's like movies you shit on, but later on when worse movies come along, or like
Prequels.
the Star
No,
Wars
it's because
prequels.
people, yeah, people hated the prequels, but now people love them, and I hate the fucking double standard. I hate
Me
it.
too.
Like, I always liked the prequels, honestly. Sure,
Me
I thought
too.
they were bad in some aspects, but I'm not going to go back and change my fucking opinion because everyone else is.
Fan jokes.
Which
Yeah.
All right, which comic book movie do you think has the best soundtrack?
Oh, that's
Yeah.
hard.
Man.
I mean, for right now, like I'd have to really think about it. For like something I'm gonna say as a substitute right now, probably Spider-Man 2. Such a fucking banger score with Danny Elfman.
Nothing wrong with that at all. I was gonna go with the Batman soundtrack because that's what I again like. What is it with me and Robert Pattinson's Batman, dude? Fucking hell!
Hey, it's
But
Pride Month.
again,
It's all right.
I'm I don't know how to make a joke out of that. But I remember like after we saw the Batman and the soundtrack came out, I was listening to that during some of my delivery shifts. I don't know what it was. It was just
Yeah, I
everything
remember
just
you
kind
telling
of
me about that.
balanced together. Specifically, the Batmobile chase song, which was Highway to the Anger Zone. So
Something's in my ass.
Another one I think would be like another good one. I wouldn't say like it's the best of all time, but I would say Revenge of the Sith soundtrack is really good as well.
Transformers original soundtrack.
No.
What?
If we're talking about the 87 movie, probably not.
Talking
But
about Michael Bay.
you have to admit, no, like
Michael
honestly,
Bay.
admit like the movies you can shit on them as much as you want, but you cannot deny the soundtracks were banger.
Oh yeah. Especially like
Park
Revenge of the
makes
Fallen,
movies.
because that one had New Divide in it, and I really like New Divide.
That one had
Yeah,
Sideswipe
like
in it,
for
and I
the
love
forest
Sideswipe.
battle.
Mm-hmm.
Like, the forest battle themes fucking slaps. Like whenever I'm playing like games, I'll just put that on.
What was it? So the funniest soundtrack I think a movie has is Daredevil's from 2003. It's a good
Really?
it's a good
Lord.
collage of music, but the memes that have come out of Evanescence from that movie is hilarious.
Is it like all the Bring Me to Life memes, or
Yeah.
oh, that's where they came from?
Yep.
I thought people were just memeing on Evanescence just to meme on Evanescence, and the fact that they've become they've got their own subgenre now known as mallcore, where it's like, yeah, you go into a mall and that's all you hear is "Bring Me to Life," or
No, a lot of the memes came from 2003 Daredevil.
I might have to look those up now.
Like Immortal, was it My Immortal and Bring Me to Life were both prominent in Daredevil. They were like I think back to back with each other.
Then I gotta watch Daredevil again.
Because there was the funeral scene after Elektra's dad died, and then there was Elektra's training scene where she fights a bunch of sandbags. One of
Cute.
I have, if I have to say my favorite movie soundtrack, Batman '89 had a good one, but I don't think it's my favorite.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, man, what was the one I was thinking of? I mean, Christian Bale's Batman had a pretty good soundtrack too.
That one's become pretty iconic. I mean, when I was doing karate, they actually used like the main. I guess you could say it was the main theme from Batman.
Are you
Like
talking
during
about?
like all the. Go ahead.
I'm talking about the song that was used at the end of The Dark Knight when he's running away.
Yep, that one. Yeah, the instructors used that one as like background music for when everybody was doing like their sparring during the black belt tests. As cheesy as that is, but in a way it was kind of cool. So it's hard, right?
Yeah.
That's right. It's like I'm still trying to think, but like I can't really think of any just because
All
like
right.
all the. Go ahead.
All right. So two. I'm gonna have to cop out and do two answers.
Mm-hmm.
The Incredible Hulk from 2008 and X-Men First Class.
Ooh.
Because I have a whole playlist of just comic book movie soundtracks, and the ones I listen to most often is Frankenstein's Monster from First Class and opening title from Incredible Hulk.
I can see that. Yeah.
But on my list of favorites is probably The Dark Knight Returns Part 2. Or no, Part 1.
Oh, I can see that. Yeah.
But I really only like one track from that, though, which is when he's Batman is on his full frontal war against the mutants. That's when
I
he
got you.
first loses. Well, he kind of wins, but gets nearly beaten to death against the mutant leader.
I got you. That makes sense.
I'm gonna let you answer this question first before I go on, because I'm gonna go on for a bit about this.
Right.
Who should be the successor to Bruce Wayne after he either dies or retires as Batman?
That's tough. That's tough for me to think about because I mean he has plenty. There's plenty of possible successors. I mean, obviously you can't have Jason Todd do it just because of it's Jason Todd. He's the Red Hood. He's gonna go around killing everybody. The only two people
I'm
I could
back.
really think
Sorry
of.
about that.
All right, so
Nah, man, you're all good.
real quick, Gamer, the question is, who do you think should be the successor to Batman after Bruce Wayne either retires or dies?
Dick or Tim?
All right, so
Either that or I was gonna. Now that I just thought about it, you could have Terry McGinnis as the successor.
Oh yeah, no doubt. No, actually, yeah. Honestly, I think Terry would be would probably be like one of the best options.
So
Mm-hmm.
here's my little rant about that. I mean, I still go with Terry.
Terry's like the
Fuck
jack
yeah,
of all
dude.
trades out of all of them.
Oh yeah.
He's got like a little bit of everyone.
Terry is the
Mhm.
best option for my opinion. My reasoning for the others, I'm gonna go down the list of Dick Grayson, Tim Drake, Jason Todd, Damian Wayne. We'll start with Tim.
Forgot about Damien.
Yeah, we'll start with Tim because the way he's written in the future, in almost every version of a future where he is Batman, or whether he's Batman or not,
He's evil.
He's evil. Yeah, like Titans Tomorrow, Return of the Joker. He's just always evil. I don't know why. He's one of the pure-hearted people to actually be considered to be a successor to Batman because he chose the life. He's just always written as an evil person in the future for some fucking reason.
Like if we
We're talking
go
about
like
Dick.
logically, and we
We're
don't
talking about
go.
Damien. I
No,
just
we're talking about
blanked out.
Tim.
We're talking about Tim.
Tim Drake.
Yeah, I see it. Yeah.
It's just like if we go like past like being evil and all that in the future, like Tim is probably one of the best options, if not like
He is the
like
best option to be
rivaling
Batman.
Terry.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's the
but
logical
he's always
choice.
turns out evil apparently.
Yeah, writers just don't seem to think so.
I mean, didn't it like? Yeah.
He's smarter than Bruce.
Well, I mean, they had that whole thing with Return of the Joker, where he like it wasn't his fault that he was turning into the Joker at night, but
it's also funny with Tim Drake when he turns to the Joker, loses his dad bod. With Dick Grayson's whole character is that he's not Batman. This whole like arc of becoming Nightwing is that he's trying to get out of Bruce's shadow. And even in a lot of media, Batman says that he trained Dick Grayson to not become him.
He wants him to be his own man. He doesn't want him to be like another He doesn't want
That's the
there to
whole
be
reason
another
he
Batman
adopted
in
him, was
ways,
to,
you know.
like, to stop him from becoming me.
Also, when Dick Grayson had to take up the mantle of Batman when Bruce disappeared, and this is when Damian was Robin, Dick hated it. Like, he didn't
Oh
want to
yeah.
be Batman. Like, even in season 1 of Young Justice, where you guys remember the episode where they're
Yeah,
in
the
this
therapy
scenario?
episode.
No, this is before.
Yeah.
No, the therapy episode is the episode after.
Oh, I know what you're
Okay, I
referring
got
to.
you.
The episode where they're actually in the simulation, where Dick has to basically focus on the mission and not really give a second thought to the people who are dying around him. Like, he has to become Batman, and during the therapy episode, he explains that it's just not right to him. He's just not Bruce. So I don't think Dick Grayson should be Batman as much as people want him to be. He's just not.
He would only be Batman if he had to.
It just
Like if there
wouldn't-
was no other choice, you know.
but it just
Yeah.
wouldn't be the right stepping stone for that character.
It wouldn't. You're
Mhm.
right.
And the way Dick Grayson's being written right now is kind of dog shit. Rick Grayson. That's a whole story for another day. I feel like Jason's character is too rash and impulsive when he's written.
Yeah, absolutely.
So if
Yep.
he's given the power of Batman, he wouldn't know what to do with it and would possibly be more of a negative.
Injustice.
If anything, he'd abuse it.
Yeah, he just wouldn't know how to use
He just
it.
become any other Yurtress. What's his name again? Like when Batman broke his back, who took over again?
Azrael.
Azrael.
Yeah,
John
Azrael. He just
Valley.
become Azrael.
Yeah.
Although the only Azrael I think would be a good successor is Michael.
Michael Lane.
Was it Michael Lane? Yeah.
Yeah, it was Michael Lane, the one that they introduced in Arkham.
In Arkham City, and then followed up with in Arkham Knight.
Yeah, yeah.
All
yeah.
right, well,
He'd
let's
be-
get back on track, boys.
He'd be a good successor for the Arkham Knight version, but not main comics we're talking about now.
Yeah.
But
Right.
Jason would just. Jason's already established himself as a character who's not Batman, kind of like Dick Grayson did.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
If anything, he's the complete antithesis of Batman.
Yeah.
Or
Damian.
like sort of like the opposite of Robin. with Red Hood.
Damian is kind of in the same boat where Tim is, where he's always written evil in the future.
Damian's
matter-
a little shit.
Like he's the best martial arts out of any of them, but he's just evil, either evil in the future or just it's just Jason. He's too like stubborn.
Yeah,
Right.
like no matter how much comic writers try to reform Damian from his assassin's past, he's just always written evil as a Batman. Which brings me to Terry. Terry was specifically made to be the Batman of the future. By no means is
Exactly.
Like, by no
I,
means is,
I, yeah, go on.
no means is Terry any specific. It was fuck. By no means is Terry Bruce's personality, because if it was who's closer to Bruce's personality, then the list would change a bit. 'Cause
Oh
I feel
yeah.
like Jason would be on par with Bruce's personality playing the mission first.
I can see that.
But I mean, Terry is supposed to be the Batman of the future. He's just not copy and paste Bruce Wayne, but he still has like the
Okay.
same morals and guidelines, and would put. How do I describe it? He would still sacrifice a lot to complete the mission, and it's hard to explain why Terry would be the best choice because everyone's probably a good contender. Like, who is the most recent Batman that's supposedly the new Batman of the future? Was it?
It might be Tim again.
No,
it's been a really
it's
long
it's
time.
the Black
No, I
Batman.
can't really
It
think
was
of it.
Lucius's like grandson or son or something. Like, was it Luke?
That's an
I-
interesting pick.
Yeah.
I don't know, but
I-
I still think Terry would be the best bet because the whole
Yeah,
Return of the
right.
Joker
No,
scene where he's
no
fighting
doubt.
Joker.
And he beats him finally.
He beats the Joker because he knows he's not a copy and paste Batman, which I think makes him the best Batman to be.
That's great.
Seems legit. I mean, it
honestly.
seems kind of legit. I mean,
Because all the other characters who are like contenders to put on the mantle already have established themselves as heroes
own people.
outside. Yeah, they've already been established as their own
Nightwing,
people.
Red Hood, Red Robin. Damian's
Ugh.
gonna get his own thing
Yum.
eventually.
I don't think Red Robin should be named Red Robin.
yep.
Yum.
I mean,
But
you
you know
got
what I
you got a handful of memes with that one right there.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
I'm
the
gonna have
one
to go
thing
with
I
Terry.
will say with like Terry, yeah, I think that's a good point. I go with Terry as well. But the thing that's always rubbed me about Terry is like I know being related to Bruce. Like, I know that doesn't impact the story, but something to me has always bugged me about it. Like,
It
to
seems
me,
a bit off, I guess, in
it just
ways,
seems
you know.
forced. It seems forced.
It does seem
Which
forced.
when you do watch the episode, like the final episode of like Unlimited,
it was Unlimited. It was second season of Unlimited.
Yeah, the final episode of Unlimited. It's like it's good the way it's presented, I guess, but it's just like it does make sense while Amanda Waller of all people would say there needs to be another Batman. But I just feel like to me it just
It would have
would
come
have
out
made
on
more
its own.
sense. Yeah, it would have come out on its own. And what was the point? And it did. Like if you ignore Unlimited, like the final episode of Unlimited, it literally changes nothing about. It changes nothing.
Yeah.
Like, Terry is he's either a genetic, he's like Bruce's genetic son, or you know he's just a random kid. And
Right,
honestly, I just find and I always have found like not being destined for something a lot more interesting. There are exceptions, like where I do like the destiny trope, like the chosen one in Star Wars. That's an exception to the rule. But overall, I've always preferred like the nobody.
Terry is able to balance his personal life and the Batman life pretty good too.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Unlike literally everyone else.
Also, he doesn't have to worry about putting on a fucking front because he's not famous.
Right.
I don't know. Like that was really all I had. Unless you guys want to gouge up a topic of your own.
I mean,
why giant robots are so fucking cool?
Why I think it's bullshit that they. Yeah. I was gonna say why I think it's bullshit that Destiny killed off Cade 6.
I've never played Destiny.
Same.
It's my brother's fault that I got addicted to it.
Oh, God.
We're taking you off of it. Come on.
Help me break
honestly,
free of my addictions.
Yeah. Help me get free from Hollow Knight.
All right. You guys have any closing remarks?
Check out Parkway Drive.
Watch some Gundam.
Actually, that doesn't sound too bad, actually.
This has been the Sourceful Podcast. We'll see you guys in the next episode.